Welcome to another episode of Battle Axe. I'm Joey Danya here at the Bustin Axe Throwing Range in Dubuque, Iowa, for another edition of the most popular axe throwing show in all the land, Battle Axe. It's week 6 here on Battle Axe, which means the action is about to get very serious. We are just a couple weeks away from our postseason tournament. To look ahead to that tournament and to look back on how the season has gone thus far, we throw it down to our points leader, Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw.
Yeah, with the 6 weeks that we're in when we first started, everybody was brand new, and during the 6 weeks we were able to really become a tight-knit group as far as placement, as far as throws, as far as scores. So now when we get towards the later end of the tournament, or the later end of the league, getting into tournament, score really becomes an issue. Not so much the win-loss record, because the way the tournament is set up, it's a double elimination tournament, and it's all based on the number of points from first place down to last place, and that's how the seeding works. So when you get a bunch of players that are close-knit, now it becomes an issue of how to score. And the way we do that is through not only the bullseyes and getting points, but the kill shots. The kill shots are a real huge risk-reward issue, so one of the things we try and do to practice that is what we call a V pattern. Is during our practice rounds, we'll start with the kill shot, we'll go to the bullseye, and then back to the kill shot, bullseye and back to the kill shot, because during a game on your 5th and 10th throw, you have the option of going for the kill shot. So on your 4th shot, you hit a bullseye. The 5th shot, you have to go for the kill shot at that point. Well, now you have to change your aim pattern a little bit, and then after that kill shot for the 6th throw, you're back down to the bullseye range again. So you want to be able to practice that to be able to be consistent between the kill shot and the bullseye.
Thank you, Matt. Looking forward to Matt Bradshaw and the rest of these competitors getting things going here tonight and in the postseason in just a couple of weeks. Matt Bradshaw, a perfect 20-0 on the season. He's the only player that has scored over 1,000 thus far. He has roughly an 80-point lead over Casey Nines in the points race. So Matt Bradshaw certainly closing in on locking up that top seed for the double elimination tournament. But a lot of competitors very close to one another there in the top 8. Casey Nines at 982 with a record of 16-3 on the season, followed by Casey Buell, Logan No, Eric Scheisel, Heather Gall, Christian Bradshaw, the daughter of Matt, and Lauren Novak rounding out the top 8. We are set to go here for week 6 on Battle Axe, and our first matchup is a heavyweight battle. We've got our 2 points leaders, Casey Nines, going head-to-head with Matt Bradshaw. Bradshaw and Nines set to go here as we begin week 6 on Battle Axe. Strong opening throw there from Casey Nines. It's a 6. Meanwhile, it's a 4 for Matt Bradshaw. So Casey Nines out to the early lead on the points leader. Another bullseye for Casey Nines.
Sorry, man, hold on. Let me look at that real quick. That is a 4.
Eric Scheisel gets a closer look at Bradshaw's throw and determines it's a 4. So Nines now has a 4-point lead. Laser Wolf off to a great start here with his axe that he calls the Butcher. And that's, of course, why we call him Laser Wolf.
Throwing the Butcher for a second there.
Laser Wolf just turned in a unicorn. 3 straight bullseyes for Casey Nines.
6.
Matt Bradshaw starting to find his rhythm now. 2 straight bullseyes for Matt Bradshaw. 4 consecutive bullseyes for Casey Nines. He's really getting into a rhythm here as week 6 begins. Nines missing the bullseye for the first time today. It's a 4 for Nines and a unicorn for Matt Bradshaw. We're halfway home, and we've got a great one here, a 2-point lead for Casey Nines with the second half underway.
4.
Couple of 4s from Nines and Bradshaw. It remains a 2-point lead for Casey Nines with just 4 throws to go now. It's going to be very hard for Nines to catch Bradshaw in the points race, but he certainly would, at the very least, like to lock up the second seed for the postseason double elimination tournament. Bradshaw gets a 6 there, a 4 for Casey Nines. So we've got a tie game with just 3 throws to go.
6-6.
A couple of
Way to throw,
bullseyes
guys.
from Nines and
42
Bradshaw. It's 42-all with 2 throws remaining. We knew this was going to be a good one, and it's lived up to all the hype.
Yes, there you
That's
go.
awfully
guys.
close
6.
to a bullseye.
6.
It is
All
a
right.
bullseye for
10th
Casey
row,
Nines and a
48
bullseye
apiece.
for Matt Bradshaw.
Anybody want a kill shot?
What a game it's been, and
No.
No?
we are in
All
store
right,
for a
let's see
fantastic
if we're
finish.
throwing
Both
kill
players
shots
declining
next
the
shot.
option for the kill shot. Here we go. 1 shot for the game.
Yes.
Both players with
Absolutely.
ice in their
Tie game,
veins.
54 to 50.
Bullseyes for Nines and Matt Bradshaw. We're going to sudden death. Whoever
That
can
is
come
what I'm
closer
talking
to
about,
getting the
guys.
kill shot here will be the victor.
Throw when you're ready. Lanes are open.
Nines off the mark.
Yeah,
Matt Bradshaw
there you go. Matt
pounds in the
Bradshaw.
dagger. He nails the
Thank
kill
you,
shot
there you go.
for
Very
the
nice.
win.
Nice
What a
shooting,
match.
guys. Nice game. Very nice game.
What 2 competitors we have. Casey Nines coming up just a little short to Matt Bradshaw, who wins it with a kill shot in sudden death. This one was fantastic. So many bullseyes across the board. A unicorn for Nines to get things started, and then Bradshaw responded with a unicorn of his own, and he finished with 4 consecutive bullseyes to force the sudden death. And in sudden death, the points leader rises to the occasion to lock up another victory to improve to 21-0 on the season, while Nines drops to 16-4. We've got much more Battle Axe coming up here on Week 6 on MC22. Welcome back to Battle Axe here on MC22. I'm Joey Dania at the Bustin Axe Throwing Range in Dubuque, Iowa, here on Week 6 of Battle Axe. If you're just joining us and are unfamiliar with how Battle Axe works, every thrower gets 10 throws. Each bullseye is worth 6 points, and then going outside on that ring, you have 4, 3, 2, and 1. Every 5th and 10th throw, players have the option to go for a kill shot. If they can land the kill shot on that small blue dot in the ring of the 1, it's an 8-point score. If they miss it, it's a 0. We are set to go here with our second matchup of the day. Heather Gall will take on Lauren Novak here in Week 6 on Battle Axe. Novak
Let's do it.
and Gall, touch tips,
Yeah, let's hit it.
a loud clank. We're ready to go.
4.
A couple of 4s here from Novak and Gall.
I might challenge that. I think it's just a 4 though. I don't know.
Novak is asking
It's not enough.
for a closer look.
You're right. It's at an angle, so it's not quite.
Scheisel's going to come in and take a closer look. It is a 4. Keep in mind, for it to be a bullseye, you have to see the red on both sides of the blade.
4.
A couple more 4s here from Heather Gall, and look at that axe. She has one of the biggest axes in this league, and that's why we call her
4-3.
Heather the Hatchet.
It was like literally.
Gall with another 4, a 3 for Lauren Novak, so Gall
All right, slow down.
takes a lead, 12-11.
Take one breath. Lane's open. 4.
Couple more 4s here from
Right.
Gall and
Heather,
Novak.
16. Lauren 15.
A very consistent start here for both ladies. It's a 16-15 game. Heather the Hatchet clinging to a 1-point lead.
4.
What is up with these 4?
Switch sides.
Another 4 for Gall and another 4 for Novak. It remains a
I just break
1-point
down.
lead for Heather Gall
All right, guys. Lane's
as we
open.
get
Let's
set to start the second half here on Battle Axe.
That looks like a
Both
6
of these
to
ladies
6.
throwing with both arms,
Wait, hers is not in the red. Oh,
and these are some of their best throws of the day. It could be a bullseye here for Heather Gall. Eric Scheisel's going to come in and get a closer look.
I was actually kidding.
It's a 4.
Watch mouth.
In fact, it is a 4 for Heather Gall. Meanwhile, it's a bullseye for Lauren Novak, so she's all smiles as Novak now
lane's
takes the
open.
lead, and she's giddy about it.
Right, that's a 4 and a 3.
It's a 4 for Lauren Novak and a 3 for Heather Gall. So Novak building a little separation now, a 2-point lead with just a few throws to go. Oh, Heartbreak City for Heather the Hatchet. Trailing by 2. She can't get it to land. It's a fall and a 0 on her 8th throw. Lauren Novak lands a 3. She now has a 5-point lead with just a couple of throws to go. Heather the Hatchet is going to need to make something happen here on her next throw, and it appears to be a 4. It is a 4. So Lauren Novak has a 5-point lead now with just 1 throw to go. Time for these ladies to decline the option for the kill shot, which they do. Another heartbreaking fall for Heather Gall. That's going to clinch victory for Lauren Novak. She is the victor, 40-31 over Heather Gall. Let's take a look at how this one played out. Both Gall and Novak off to a very competitive start, and then things took a turn there on that 6th throw. You may remember that's when Novak called for Eric Scheisel to take a closer look at what was initially called a bullseye for Heather Gall. Scheisel got a closer look and ruled that it was a 4, and that's when things really took a turn for Heather Gall for the worst. So much of this is a mental game, and it appears that Heather Gall may have psyched herself out after that 4 was called after what appeared to be a bullseye. Lauren Novak, the victor, here in Week 6. Next up here on Battle Axe, we've got Christian Bradshaw taking on Kyle Gall. He looks confident as we get set for our 3rd matchup here in Week 6. We're underway. Ooh, what a devastating start for Kyle Gall. He can't get it to land. That's a fall, and it's a 0 as Christian Bradshaw takes an early 4-point advantage. Kyle Gall closing the eye, trying to focus in and rebound after that fall. He does. He lands a 4. It's another 4 from Bradshaw to remain in front. 8-4 now. Christian Bradshaw coming in with a record of 13-7. Kyle Gall 4-16, but these two very close in the points race. 782 points on the season for Bradshaw, 745 for Gall.
2-6.
And there is the break that Kyle Gall was looking for. It's a 2 for Christian Bradshaw as Gall lands a bullseye. And just like that, we are all tied up after 4 throws. Both players decline the option to go for the kill shot here. And both players land a bullseye. We are all tied up at 20 after the first half. Bradshaw and Gall switch sides, and we'll get set to go here for the second half. Kyle Gall throwing first here.
4 and 3.
It's a 4 for Kyle Gall, a 3 for Christian Bradshaw. Gall now has his first lead of the game, 24-23. He's rebounded nicely after opening up with a 0 on his first throw. They just keep going back and forth now. Bradshaw with a bullseye, a 4 for Gall. Bradshaw retakes the lead, 29-28.
Kyle.
So much of this is mental focus, and both of these players really focused in right now as they both want this one badly, with the postseason not far away. A bullseye for Christian Bradshaw. 2 straight bullseyes now for Bradshaw, and a chance here at a unicorn. But she misses badly.
6-3.
It's a 3 for Bradshaw. Kyle Gall lands a bullseye of his own. And once again, we are all tied up as we get set for the 10th and final throw. It all comes down to this.
He's got 4 and a 4. That's right. We're going sudden death.
Bradshaw can't believe it. After starting this one with a 4-0 lead, we are now heading to sudden death, all tied up at 42. Whoever can land a shot closer to the kill shot will come out on top in this one.
Drop, rethrow. Okay. Nope, don't drop.
Can't imagine the nerve and angst they're feeling right now. Bradshaw gets the victory. She is much closer on her kill shot attempt. Eric Scheisel's going to make sure, but it appears Christian Bradshaw gets the victory, and she does. Christian Bradshaw, the winner over Kyle Gall. What a riveting matchup that was. We knew it was going to be a good one when you looked at how close these two competitors were in the points standings, and it lived up to all the hype and then some. Our second sudden death match of the night, and Christian Bradshaw comes out on top, getting a little closer to that kill shot attempt than Kyle Gall. Bradshaw gets her 14th win of the season as Gall drops to 4-17 on the year. Kyle Gall showed a lot of perseverance to overcome that devastating 0 on his first throw, but in the end, it's Christian Bradshaw coming out on top in sudden death. What a start it's been here on Week 6. Much more still to come here on Battle Axe. Welcome back to Battle Axe here on MC22. I'm Joey Danya at the Bustin Axe Throwing Range in Dubuque, Iowa, here in Week 6 of an 8-week season in the Fall League of the WATL. These first 7 weeks of the season will set the field for the postseason double elimination tournament in Week 8. Coming up next, we're going to see Gretchen Bradshaw take on Stephanie Prine, but before we get started with that matchup, we're going to throw it down to Gretchen to get her thoughts on how the season has gone thus far and her strategy moving forward with the rest of the season.
Increase my scores, for sure. I want to make sure that I'm doing the best that I can and in my point range, because I know that they match us up by how we're doing. So that's what my goal is just to kind of improve my score, so I'll hopefully come out on top.
Thanks so much, Gretchen. Best of luck here in Week 6 and the rest of the way this season. We are just about set to go with our next matchup, and it's going to feature Stephanie Prine against Gretchen Bradshaw. These two coming in very evenly matched up. Both Bradshaw and Prine coming in with records of 8-11 on the season. And a heartbreaking start here for Gretchen Bradshaw. It's a fall for a 0, but Stephanie Prine certainly leaving the door wide open with only landing a 2. It's just a 2-point game here after one throw. Let's see if Bradshaw can rebound, and she does.
4-3.
A 4 for Bradshaw. She now only trails by 1 after a 3 from Stephanie Prine.
4-5. Tight game. Let's go.
We're set to go here for our third throw. Oh, and it's another fall for Bradshaw, but it's a fall for Prine as well. Both of these two off to shaky starts here. Falls can be devastating, but it doesn't take a lot to get back in a matchup of Battle Axe, and that's what we're seeing here. Despite 2 falls, Bradshaw still right in this one, only trailing by 1. Here's we get set for our 4th throw of the match.
6-4.
And there is the best throw we've seen thus far from Stephanie Prine. It's a bullseye. She now has a 3-point advantage over Gretchen Bradshaw. It's time for these ladies to decline or go for the kill shot. They're going to decline as we get set for our 5th throws. And it's a great throw from Prine. Looks like it's a bullseye. And Bradshaw answers nicely with a bullseye of her own. So both of these competitors starting to find their rhythm now after a shaky start. It's a 3-point lead for Prine after the first half, and we're underway in our second half.
4-4.
Prine coming up short on the attempt for a unicorn. A unicorn, of course, is 3 consecutive bullseyes, and Prine just came up short there. She still maintains her 3-point advantage with 4 throws to go.
4-3.
Prine fortunate that that one stuck into the wood. It was shaking, but it landed for a 4. An unfortunate break for Bradshaw. That could have gotten her right back in this one. It's a 4-point game with 3 throws to go.
3-1.
What?
And just like that, Gretchen Bradshaw is right back in this one, nipping at the heels of Prine. It's a 3 for Bradshaw and a 1 for Prine. It's a 2-point game. Focus so crucial here.
4 drop.
And Bradshaw
Right,
clearly
Stephanie
frustrated.
30 and Gretchen 24. Kill shot.
It can be so heartbreaking when that happens, and now it's a 6-point deficit for Bradshaw.
I know, that's awesome.
She is going to go for the kill shot to try and get the win. She came awfully close, but came up a little short.
36,
As Prine lands a bullseye, she clinches the victory.
Oh, I was really hoping you'd hit it so that we could see a tie game.
Stephanie Prine the winner, 36-24.
That's what I was hoping for.
Well, what a matchup this was. The final score not indicative of how competitive this one truly was. It all came down to that final throw. Gretchen Bradshaw, no guts, no glory. She went for the kill shot to attempt to get the win, and she came up just a little short as Stephanie Prine landed a bullseye, clinching her 9th victory of the season to improve to 9-11, while Bradshaw drops to 8-12. It was a shaky start for both of these competitors, but they closed out nicely. For much more on how this season is going thus far, let's toss it down now to our winner, Stephanie Prine.
No, I've definitely gotten better, like a lot better. When I started, I had a lot of drops. I really didn't know just how to stand, how to throw, how to release, like nothing. So I've come in a few times and Eric's sort of given me some pointers, tweaked my throw a bit. So it's gotten a lot better than when it started, and tons of drops. At least a couple every game for a couple of weeks. So it's on the up and up, but I think just trying to stay consistent and just kind of keep relying on muscle memory rather than like getting in my head. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing.
Thank you, Stephanie, and best of luck the rest of this season here on Battle Axe. It's been a great start to Week 6, and we're not done yet. Our next matchup, Casey Buell will take on Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw.
Let's go.
Bradshaw and Buell. Touching tips for good sportsmanship, and we're set to go. It's awfully close to a bullseye for Buell. Matt Bradshaw,
4-4.
close as well, but both competitors just missing. It's a 4 for Buell and a 4 for Bradshaw. Matt Bradshaw, known to wait to throw until his competitor throws, and that's what he's doing here.
6-6.
Buell with a bullseye, Bradshaw with the answer. We're tied at 10 after a couple of throws. Buell coming in at 15-5. Bradshaw remains unbeaten as the points leader this season.
4-6.
It's a 4 for Casey Buell.
Let me call that.
He thinks it's close to a bullseye. He wants Eric Scheisel to come in and take a look. Matt Bradshaw landing a bullseye. So it is a 4
It's just
for
right
Casey
above.
Buell. He didn't miss the bullseye by much, but Matt Bradshaw has the first lead of the game, 16-14. Buell's going to smile it off, focus in, and land a bullseye here on his 4th throw. Matt Bradshaw
6 and
answers with what appears to be a bullseye, but Eric Scheisel needs a closer look.
6-6.
It is a bullseye for Matt Bradshaw, and that, of course, is a unicorn.
Casey Buell 20. Matt Bradshaw 22.
Matt Bradshaw, certainly no strangers to unicorns. You wonder if this guy eats a box of Little Debbie unicorns every day on Battle Axe.
6. Same corner.
Matt Bradshaw.
Takes another 6. Go ahead. Switch
With
sides.
another bullseye. Those Little Debbie unicorns are fantastic, by the way. Matt Bradshaw leading by 2 points over Casey
All
Buell.
right, guys. Lane's open.
We're set to go for the second half. Great throw there from Buell.
Go 6-6.
Better throw from Bradshaw. A couple of bullseyes. Matt Bradshaw hanging on to his 2-point lead. This has been a fantastic matchup, and we've got 4 throws to go with Bradshaw leading by 4. Casey Buell locked in,
6-6.
but he might have missed. It is a bullseye, so it remains a 2-point lead. Just 3 throws to go. 40-38, Bradshaw over Buell. Casey Buell
4-4.
just missing on the bullseye,
Yeah, that's a 4.
and that's a heartbreaking miss for Buell because Bradshaw
That was the time-
gave
that
him
was
the
time of
opportunity
this
to close the gap and tie this one up, but he came up just short. He's going to have to do some damage here on the second couple
6-6.
last throws.
one.
But Matt
50-48.
Bradshaw just won't back
You're up by
down.
2.
Another bullseye for Matt Bradshaw. He's got a 2-point lead heading into the final throw. Casey Buell going to have to go for it all here. He's going to go for the
lane's
kill
open.
shot to get the win. He's off the mark, and Matt Bradshaw gets another victory over Casey Buell, 56-48, the final. Well, what a matchup this was. Matt Bradshaw remains unbeaten on the season. He improves to 22-0 with a 56-48 win over Casey Buell, who falls to 15-6 on the season. And when you're going up against a competitor like Matt Bradshaw, there is very little room for error. And Matt Bradshaw was a masterful man once again. That's why we call him the Magic Man. 8 bullseyes for Matt Bradshaw to get the victory over Casey Buell, 56-48. We're not done here on Week 6 of Battle Axe. Much more still coming up on MC22. Welcome back to Battle Axe. Joey Danya here at the Bustin Axe Throwing Range in Dubuque, Iowa, for Week 6 of this Fall League action in the WATL. We have seen a thrilling Week 6 thus far. Already 2 sudden death victories tonight, with Matt Bradshaw winning over Casey Nines in sudden death, and then Christian Bradshaw, the daughter of Matt, winning in sudden death over Kyle Gall. We also saw Matt Bradshaw just get a thrilling victory over Casey Buell, 56-48, with Buell coming up short on the attempt for a kill shot. We are set to go here with our next matchup. Heather the Hatchet Gall against Big Jim Haas. Big Jim Haas touching tips with that big hatchet of Heather the Hatchet. And we're underway, and
Drop 6.
devastating start for Big Jim Haas. It's a fall for a 0. Heather Gall thinks it's a bullseye. She wants Eric Scheisel to come in and take a closer look. She's pleading her case right now.
It would be. But right
It's
here.
awfully close.
It's like right there's.
But as you can see, red not on both sides of the blade for a bullseye, so it's a 4 for Heather Gall. She doesn't like the call, but she still has a 4-point lead. Jim Haas going to try and lock in and get one to land here to get back in this one. It's a 4 for Haas, a 4 for Gall. So it's still a 4-point lead. Heather Gall still chirping a little bit at Eric Scheisel. She's not happy about it. And she lands a bullseye. Says, take that, Scheisel. He's going to have to take a look at this one, too. It is a bullseye. Jim Haas lands a 4. Our first bullseye of the game gives Heather Gall a 14-8 advantage. Look at that look from Jim Haas. Nobody wants this more than Jim Haas. This guy is one of the greatest competitors you'll ever see.
Stars of the 4 games that are left. Okay, thank you.
It's a 4-point lead for Heather Gall. And Heather Gall really locked in right now. Her second bullseye of the match. She now has a 22-15 advantage over Jim Haas. He's going to have to get hot here on the back half. Heather Gall
6 and a 3.
with another bullseye. It's another 3 for Jim Haas. He's going to have to really find a rhythm here. He's been unable to really get anything going as Gall has been continuing to build her advantage. And Jim Haas lands a bullseye. You knew Jim Haas was too good to go a game without a bullseye. He lands one right there, and he's getting right back in it. Putting a little pressure on Gall here. But she's up to the test. Jim Haas, look out, here he comes. 2 straight bullseyes for Jim Haas. A chance at a unicorn and a chance to really tighten this one up. Look at that look. Stone face.
That looks like 3 for Heather, 6 for Jim.
Jim Haas with a unicorn. This man
All right, 10th throw.
is amazing.
38-36.
What a comeback. It's a 2-point game. Final shot here. They're going to decline the option to go for the kill shot. Jim Haas with a good throw.
4-4.
Heather Gall
Heather will take it. 42,
just clinching the victory. 42-40 in a thriller over Jim Haas. Well, another thriller here in Week 6 on Battle Axe. Heather Gall getting a 42-40 victory over Jim Haas, who certainly got off to a shaky start. But as we knew he would, Haas got hot there on the back half. A unicorn on his 7th, 8th, and 9th throw, 3 straight bullseyes to really put the pressure on Gall. But she was able to stay focused and hold off Haas for a 42-40 win. So much of this game is about the mental aspect of it. For much more on that, we're going to throw it down to Casey Nines.
One of the biggest things is you got to try to remain calm, because if you start getting a little nervous or a little wondering what they're getting, I mean, it'll kind of start messing with your head a little bit. So it's really important to just kind of stay focused on what you're doing, just worry about what you're doing, and like I say, try to stay accurate with those.
Thank you, Casey. Best of luck the rest of Week 6 and this season. We are set to go here on our next matchup. In Week 6, Casey Nines and the Butcher taking on Casey Buell. Buell and Nines touch tips, and we are set to go.
4-6.
So it's a 6 for Casey Nines, a 4 for Casey Buell. Nines out to the early lead.
He's too damn tall.
Buell coming in at 15-6 on the season. Nines coming in at 16-4.
4-4.
That one awfully close to a bullseye for Buell, but he missed by just a little bit. It remains a 2-point game with Nines in front. These two talking a little trash to one another. So much of this is a mental game, and perhaps Buell and Nines are psyching each other out right now. A couple of 4s from these two. We don't see that often.
4-4.
Once again, a 4 for Buell and a 4 for Nines. So we are getting awfully close to the postseason. Maybe the pressure of this moment is getting to these two. It's been 3 straight 4s for Nines, all 4s for Buell.
16 Casey Buell.
That one bullseye, the difference thus far in this one. Neither player going for the kill shot.
4-4.
Couple more
Switch
4s.
sides.
It's starting to feel like one of those matchups where just one mistake could be the difference.
Let's roll.
We're set to go here on the back half in a 2-point game. That's awfully close to a bullseye for Casey Nines. Eric Scheisel's going to get a closer look. It's another 4.
Correct.
Laser Wolf can't believe it.
I'm just calling first.
He just
sight
cannot
so you
get
guys
the Butcher
know.
to land in that bullseye. He, of course, calls his axe
6-6.
the Butcher.
Nice shot, guys. Nice shot.
And there we go. The Butcher finally in there for a bullseye.
That's right.
But Buell has a bullseye of his own. These two are neck and neck at 2-point game still.
That's going to be a 4 and a 6.
So it's a 4 for Buell and a second consecutive bullseye for Casey Nines. He's got a 4-point lead and a chance here at a unicorn. Awfully close, but no unicorn there.
All right, guys, 10 shots.
It's a 4-point lead for Nines. 1 throw to go. Time for Buell to decide if he wants to go for the kill shot. Yep, he says he's going for it. No guts, no glory. Oh,
6-0.
heartbreaking for Casey Buell.
Casey Buell.
He can't believe it. Casey Nines gets the victory over Casey Buell. Well, Casey Nines able to get the victory over Casey Buell, 48-38. It all came down to that 10th and final throw. And for the second time here in Week 6, Buell went for the kill shot and the victory on his final throw. And once again, Buell comes up just short. Earlier it was Matt Bradshaw getting the win over Buell. And now it's Nines, the victor, 48-38, as Nines improves to 17-4. Buell drops to 15-7. We're not done here yet. On Week 6 of Battle Axe, our final matchup of the week is straight ahead on MC22. Welcome back to Battle Axe here on MC22 at the Bustin Axe Throwing Range in Dubuque, Iowa. I'm Joey Danya here in this Week 6 of Fall League action in the WATL, and what a Week 6 it has been. It's been a roller coaster ride for KC9s. Earlier tonight, he came up just short in a sudden death matchup, losing to the points leader, Matt Bradshaw, and then we just saw KC9s come out on top in a thrilling matchup against KC Buell. Nines isn't done yet. He's going to be in our final matchup here of Week 6. It'll be Eric the Scope Scheisel against KC9s. So why do we call Eric Scheisel the Scope? Well, this guy is known to go for the kill shots. He's gone for more kill shots than anybody in the league. He's gone for 34 kill shots this season. Nobody else in the league has even gone for double digits. Bullseyes for Scheisel and nines to start this one off.
6-4.
Another bullseye for the Scope and a 4 for KC9s. So Eric the Scope Scheisel has a 2-point lead. Look at that focus from KC9s. But it's off the mark. Laser Wolf clearly frustrated.
4-3.
The Butcher just got away from him on that one. That's the name that he calls his axe, the Butcher.
Don't argue with the owner of the shop.
Scheisel having a little fun with KC9s. Laser Wolf answers nicely. Couple of bullseyes from Eric Scheisel and KC9s. So the Scope with a 3-point lead.
22, Eric, 19,
Time for the fifth shot. Both players declining the option to go for the kill shot. That's surprising from a guy we call the Scope.
4-4.
Nice job.
So it's a 26-23 lead for Eric Scheisel. Perhaps with the lead, that's why he declined to go for the kill shot. Just hang on to that lead and then close it out here in the back half. That's awfully close to being a bullseye for the Scope. Matt Bradshaw getting a closer look. This one's close for nines as well. Really giving the eyes of Matt Bradshaw a test. It's a couple of 4s for nines and Scheisel. So Eric the Scope Scheisel still hanging on to that 3-point lead with just 3 throws to go. Seems like any time KC9s has been in a matchup here in Week 6, it's been a good one. Couple of 4s. Still a 3-point lead for Scheisel. KC9s has got some work to do here on the last 3 throws. And what a start there for KC9s to close this one out. Eric Scheisel, can't believe it. Just came up short on a bullseye, and all of a sudden it's a 1-point game with just 2 throws to go.
9th shot.
That is the look of a guy who wants this one badly. Scheisel, hoping it's a bullseye.
Yep, that's 6 for Eric, and that's 6 for Casey.
It's a bullseye for Scheisel and Casey, so it's a 1-point game.
All right, gentlemen, here
Scheisel
we go.
up
10th
1.
throw.
Final
Eric
throw.
44, Casey 43.
They're going to decline to go for the kill shot. It all comes down to this. What a throw there from KC9s. We expected nothing less. And we expected nothing less from Eric the Scope Scheisel. He lands a bullseye to clinch the victory, 50-49 over KC9s.
Nice one.
Well, what a finish here to Week 6 on Battle Axe. It's Eric Scheisel, the victor over KC9s, 50-49. These two competitors really going neck and neck in this one. The big difference, that 3 for KC9s on his 3rd throw, and Eric the Scope Scheisel just putting it away on his last couple of throws with a pair of bullseyes to get the victory by the narrowest of margins. For KC9s, it was 3 close matchups tonight. He got 1 victory, but came up short in the other 2. Here's Nines on his season thus far.
All 3 matches are actually pretty good games. They were really close, so it was it was a lot of fun playing them. What I hopefully can start focusing on more is just getting more accuracy with those, because I know a couple of those games were about 1 point behind, 2 points behind. So if I was a little more accurate and maybe wouldn't have got some of those lower throws there, I would have won those games. So.
Thank you, Casey. Best of luck the rest of this season. We're going to send it now to our post-game wrap-up. Let's take a look at the standings after 6 weeks of action on Battle Axe. Matt Bradshaw getting a couple of victories here in Week 6 to improve his record to a perfect 24-0. Somehow this guy just keeps getting better week in and week out. His average score now at 53.6 points per game. He is leading the way by more than 100 points with 1,287 points on the season. I don't know if you heard me counting. Matt Bradshaw did over 1,000. Bradshaw leading the way over Casey Nines, who is at 18-5 on the season with 1,179 points, an average score of more than 49 points per game, followed by Casey Buell at 16-8, Eric Scheisel at 12-12, Christian Bradshaw at 16-8, Heather Gall at 12-12, Jim Haas at 15-9, and Kyle Gall at 5-19. For the entire MC22 team, this is Joey Dania signing off from the Bustin Axe Throwing Range in Dubuque, Iowa for Week 6 of Battle Axe. We'll see you again next time here on MC22.